Like, ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? Ayy, coming down like precipitation. I ain't never met a limitation. Hate plotting my elimination. Gotta go to Google for the information. I'm a superstar, so I gotta shine. Top dollar be the bottom line. Bottom feeding niggas out of line. Turn your heart rate to a dotted line. Yeah, my zodiac probably dollar sign. Got the energy to win it, my nigga, I'm feeling great. Got a date with destiny, focusing on my fate. I don't give a fuck what you rapping, you been a fake. I'm everything that they ain't, it can't be, it won't be. Wanna see me fall, I can't go, I won't leave. Coming from the block with plain clothes and police. Straight up to the top with bankrolls and rollies. Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? Ayy, 12 can't really stop shit, so I'm still pushing like a mosh pit. Ice dripping, think I'm hot shit. In a yellow bucket with the mop stick. I've been jugging jams like wholesale. Everything must go sell. Hitting bitches with the old well. Need 100 million on the low scale. On my worst night, I'm the best nigga. Wouldn't mess with you, couldn't cap to him. Homie spotted me like 700, brought 1100 right back to him. If I can't do it, then it ain't real. I just make dollars, I don't make deals. I've been going hard in the paint, still blowing kush clouds till I can't feel like. Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right?
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Conquerors League. We've got an exciting series for you today, but we're going to start it off with some little introductions. I'm Rap Terror, joined by the ever-lovely Dorado. How you doing today?
Doing good. It's good to be back. It's been a couple of weeks since I've been here. I'm keen for a game coming into finals soon. So this is the last week until we get into playoffs. Sorry, not finals, playoffs. So these are important matches coming up.
Yeah, pretty important matches. I know for this one, I can't remember if it's literally or mathematically, but the team that wins this series today is a lock for the playoffs. And it's a pretty tight match we've got going here for two teams that really have honestly had a pretty rough season overall. And we're about to get all good, all good. We're about to get underway into draft. As far as I am aware, there are no substitutes today. If I am correct, production, can you let me know, is there any substitutions we're expecting today?
While we find those, it is Kled and Unara are both banned away globally for these games. You know, obviously being new in the game, but got a little side swap there. I'm not sure what the Kled ban is for, but no Kled today. Azir Vi being banned away by Doge right now. Trundle match right now. XSRD. The Victor following a lot of pretty staple champions in the meta getting banned away right now, which is not something I'm typically used to in these lower elo leagues, but these are all really strong picks right now.
Yeah, Azir just got buffed and he's already dominating pro play, so best to get him out of there. Vi got a little bit of a buff as well, so I could see that going down. No one really wants to fight against a Vi. But the rest of these pretty solid picks. Victor's in a solid spot. Lux as well. Jin Zhao going to be the first one up on the board over for Doge.
A very solid first pick. Great fighting in the skirmish, 2v2, 3v3 in the mid game, and does great into a lot of the picks right now. If you're playing something like a Jin, any of the control-y long-range mages, and Orianna, Pantheon picked up right now for XSR, just to kind of match that skirmish potential, but also, and now with Italia locked in, a double global pressure for the side lane for these team fights. Try to make picks on side, which is, it can be kind of a double-edged sword, where if you don't utilize your ults correctly, you don't end up really having ults. It can be incredibly useful when used correctly. Sivir locked in quite a close range comp right now for Doge. I assume they're going to wrap this out with the mid laner. It is going to be the Mel locked in. So a bit more range.
Yeah, a lot of scaling also on this team. Sivir, always known as... everyone knows 6-item spike. Sivir is a menace. Mel has been a very strong champion since she came out. Had a couple ups and downs in the patching, but overall is honestly, I think, pretty powerful, especially if used in a coordinated setting where you can really make use of that shield. And Darius coming through as well. So they're looking on the side of XSRD, I think, to really make plays on the sides. I'm guessing then they're going for a hyper carry in the bottom lane that they're going to try to get fed and go from there. That could also be a support Pantheon, so it could be a carry jungle as well. The Renata ban comes through, so some support bans. Kennen also in a strong spot right now. I've been seeing a lot of that. And it's interesting, if this isn't support Pantheon, it's been a long time since I've seen both supports go this far down in the pick order. So that would be interesting. And the Rakan as well, so both teams assuming these are not supports for the Pantheon. And Mel. Rel, also speaking of Mel, get the rhyme with Rel coming through for XSRD for the support pick.
I mean, you want to go Alistair here, ideally into the Rel, right? But with the Talia, you're not able to go it. Poppy, a great answer into the Rel. Able to hamper a little bit of that engage, and does pretty well into the entire comp of XSR in general with Keeper's Verdict. Mordekaiser picked here for Doge, and I'm surprised that it's 10th pick ADC. I think you don't necessarily need to go towards that. I mean, picking a Rel before, blind picking your Rel makes Poppy better.
No.
Give you the 8 box. I'll have to confirm. Is this correct? Is this draft correct? If it is, that's I'm.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, we are noticing we're getting confirmation there's a visual bug. That is not a Darius. Production is finding out really quick what that is, but that it was not the actual pick.
That would have been wild, though. That would have been funny.
Yeah, that would have been a very, very wild composition to run. Okay, we're getting confirmation that is a Kaisa in place of one of those champions. So actually, it might not be theirs. There is a champion that has been errorly locked. It is supposed to be a Kaisa. This is just on the production side, so it didn't impact the draft for the teams at all. That is all good, and we'll get that info to you shortly on which one that is. But I guess we could talk about Doge's Conqueror now. What do you think of that?
Wonderful. All right, thank you very much.
Okay.
I think I'm a huge fan of Jinja. I think Jinja's really strong and will continue to be strong for a while until, Riot decides to look at him. But even regardless of, numbers, okay, there we go. There's the updated draft right there for XSR. But the thing with Doja's comp is, yeah, you've got the scaling Sivir like you talked about, but, does Kaisa beat you? Maybe. I think she does. Mel has a lot of range, sure, but the comp feels kind of disconnected to me. There's a little bit of engage with the, Poppy engage, maybe Jinzhao looking in, but I'm not a huge fan of Mordekaiser. I, on the other side, love XSR's draft. I think Rel Kaiser is great. You've got a pretty free lane to just sit there and farm. Yeah, Rel can't engage against Poppy and Sivir, sure, but you don't need to. You just sit there, farm, get a lot of gold on Peekaboo. I think the Taliyah Pantheon, when used correctly, is really strong. I think that the Taliyah against things like the Jinzhao and the Poppy is also really strong, and I'm a fan of Aatrox. I think that it's fine in the side lane. It's obvious. I'm assuming that was the 10th pick, top lane counter pick. So I'm hoping that Punkris is comfortable in this matchup. But regardless of player skill, I just think the draft is it has a really strong identity. There's tons of frontline CC bodies to put in front of Kaisa and CC for her to use passive and ult towards. So I love XSR's draft.
Yeah, and I'm a big fan. I mean, I like it. I like the dive. I think the Poppy pick for Waffles really counters so much of XSRD's comp, because every single champion on there can be blocked by it. You can block the Rel engage, the Kaisa ult, the Pantheon W. You can block the Aatrox dash. I think it also blocks Taliyah dashing, riding on the wall, if I remember correctly. I haven't seen that. Yeah, so a lot of good potential, a lot of counter to XSRD's comp coming out of Doge with that support. And it's very interesting to see as we get underway into our first game of the series, Doge versus XSRD. As we get underway, game number 1, which of these teams is going to take it in this first game of the series? Is already an early invade for XSRD.
I mean, they're confident in their level 1 with the Pantheon. Does make a little bit of sense, but well, spotted on vision, actually. I'm not convinced about the Taliyah Kaisa invade Aatrox. I'm not... I think those champions are really, really weak level 1. If they walk in, get caught out, it looks like all the members of Doge are spread out very nicely, so there won't be any level 1 fighting for either of these teams.
Yeah, just gonna slowly get situated into their positions. So, looking at the individual lane matchups, where are you expecting both these teams to try to look for leads? I feel like we're gonna, at least for me, I'm thinking, for Doge, you're looking to just kind of let bottom side slowly scale up, and you're looking for leads elsewhere. But what are your thoughts?
I think that the double global is the biggest part of this for XSR and Doge, to see how they react to it, right? Level 6 is such a huge spike for this team comp, even Aatrox as well. See how Purple goes about using World Ender there. Conqueror as well, the same thing. This is a very hefty level 6 draft from both teams. Keeper's Verdict, the same thing. I would not be shocked to see both of these teams kind of do nothing and just farm it out before level 6. I think that Pantheon specifically can look for some early ganks, but really you want to wait for that level 6 spike, and then it can be, you know, wherever you want to take. I believe that was Ginger right there on the ramp. It was over the wall. But yeah, I think it really depends on where the team individually wants to take. Because I think that any of these lanes with a lead feels good, right? I think if Mordekaiser starts smashing Aatrox or vice versa, it really impacts our top lane matchup. I think it's quite a volatile matchup. The same down bot. Yeah, Poppy can curb a lot of the engage, but with gold, Kai Sorel don't really care about that, and you can play around that, you know, Poppy.
Yeah, I agree. And Poppy, you know, that W has a lot shorter of a cooldown than Rel's engage. So,
Yeah.
I mean, a lot longer of a cooldown. So, Rel can get multiple engages off, even if they aren't able to do one. So, there is potential there for them to find something. And like you said, you know, it really is a volatile matchup, especially in the top lane. I think the volatility goes down a little bit after second item for Mordekaiser. You know, once he starts getting the Rylai's and those sort of items, it becomes a little bit, and the Riftmaker, it becomes a little bit difficult to deal with him, I think. But, I mean, it is Aatrox also, and it is a very skill-based matchup, I'd say, overall. But we're seeing a fight here in the top side, as First Blood's gonna go over to Peekaboo and Otter and the side of Doge. And might be a second one in the bot side. Oh, actually, they already got one down there. I missed that. Waffles died as well. So 2-0 for Doge. Good start to this game for them.
It was Gunny Thick picking up that kill onto Waffles, so doesn't feel terrible, but the health right now for Spirit does feel pretty bad as we take a quick look back at how this 2v2 kill happened. I mean, walking a bit too far forward, Waffles here goes for the EQ, misses. And then Gunny Thick just gets an easy stun into the wall. Great. I mean, Poppy damage is so strong, you can see the ground there. But back at live, there's another fight happening.
Yeah, another one happening on live, as we will see a double kill going over to Hybrid Carry. They're going to trade it, though, and take him down with it. I think the kill went again over to Gunny Thick, and Brother Otter's going to get out. Gets the flash out of Waffles, though.
Yeah, it was a double kill for Hybrid, and another one, unfortunately, for Gunny Thick. And one onto, I believe it was Peekaboo or Brother. I didn't see who got that first blood. It was one of them picking up the other one. So 4 kills now to 2. And this, I mean, we were talking about the volatility of some of these lanes. I mean, this is pre-6. I was expecting these teams to kind of not want to do too much until level 6, but we've got more action down here, and Bob potentially Gunny Thick looking for a catch, but won't be able to find it. Just walking away. I think Poppy Model is the walk is one of my favorite animations. It's just so goofy with the big hammer.
Yeah,
take
it's
a
got a
look
little
at that.
skip and a
Fight.
hop. Let's see what happened
Robust
here on this.
Caught out a little bit, forced a flash early. Really good pushback actually right there. But the health bar's too low. Even though some peel comes through from XSR, I'm not super happy that they take this fight. I think that you can just go for some heal. And you're getting kills. Hybrid Carry, pretty happy to take a double kill. Even here, like, I don't know if you necessarily need to fight this. But they end up taking it. Double kill there, and Brother Otter's just going to walk away. Waffles isn't obviously able to keep that CC chain going. I mean, the double kill on the Pantheon does really help, like, you know, influence lanes once it gets the first item. But it doesn't really give you any XP, which I don't really think helps you. And Talia getting caught out this early, like, it doesn't spell very well for how this lane is going to continue to go. I mean, it does have a little bit of a CS lead, sure. But this Mel lane, I mean, it's like you're never getting Prio ever until much later when maybe you get there first. Peekaboo.
Oh, Peekaboo getting caught out here. Hybrid Carry flashing over the ball. Looking for him. Another flash, though, from Aatrox. Going too far. Peekaboo on the run, trying to get out, and he should be fine. But here comes the rest of Doge. Oh, they pushed Pantheon into Mordekaiser. He is going forward, looking for the pickup there, and he's going to take him down. Conqueror is going to grab Hybrid Carry. And it looked like a good catch by XSRD, just turns into a disaster.
I'm going to maybe say Purple was trying to predict Peekaboo's flash, thought it was still up, maybe. I've no, or it could have been a fat finger. I have no idea why you want to, like, Q3 flash there. Yeah, I agree. A great look, but again, we're not level 6. Who is level 6? You know,
Funky.
it's Mordecai.
Funky 7, actually.
Yeah, 7 now
Oh, he
looking for
ults
a
too.
fight.
Yeah, he's looking for this fight here. The 2 more members of Doge are coming. Purple doesn't know. They've found him out now, and Peekaboo's gonna pick up the kill. This top lane, it's starting to tilt really hard in Doge's favor.
No tower dive here available, but there are some grubs potentially in a little couple of seconds to go for if you want to stick around. Looks like that is what Doge want to do. It's a big wave to pick up too, but a lane swap actually from Spiritless. I mean, Purple's going to go down bot. I mean, this signals to me that they maybe want to fight for these grubs, and I mean, I'm not convinced in this fight.
Yeah, I don't know if this is a good idea, though. I guess the thinking is Punky hasn't gotten it back yet. Here comes all of XSRD. They're getting Punky solo. He's forced to flash out. The Kai'Sa comes over, and they managed to pick him up. They pushed him off the grubs. 2 of them went over to Doge, so they're going to claim it in terms of objective claim points, but not getting all of it. That one going to XSRD. So fight kind of works out. They do get a kill back. They get 1 grub, but still a lot used there from the side of XRD. That's 2 ultimates that got used. And is there anything else? No, that's it. Just that. Oh, and Ignite. Ignite too.
And the kill going over to a Kai'Sa. Obviously the best member. That's going to be your late game insurance damage. Or, you know, the most at least. But in Doge having first dragon, 2 grubs, you lose 1 kill. It doesn't really phase them too much. They've still got quite a solid gold lead, 2k. And it's on crucial members, right? Siva just happy to sit there. Ult from Hybrid to the shove.
Yeah, they're looking for Brotherly there. The barrier gonna come through, not gonna lock anything up, but Brother is gonna pick up at least 1 there. Gonna get shut down though right after by Hybrid carry, but still turning the 2v1 and at least getting something out of it is not a bad trade, I'd say.
Yeah, making plays with your global ults onto like the lane with the global ult, it's a bit like, you know, questionable for me. I want to see the plays getting made onto wherever the Kai'Sa is, and if you have a look, that lane is getting pushed quite in right now for XSR. There potentially was a timer there for Pantheon, Talia to ult down and look for potentially this Siva who's basically just been unchecked. I mean, has a little bit of a CS deficit, and I think that's completely fine. Even though you kind of do want like a big lead on Siva because you CS so easily, I think it's not anything that you can't make up for later. And the ult, like on the hunt, really works well with something like Xin Zhao and Mordekaiser. It doesn't really affect Mel at all because you just want to sit there. Brother looking for a root, but won't be able to hit it. Dragon in 30 seconds. No Infernal Soul, no Ocean Soul this game, which would have been quite nice on Aatrox Mordekaiser in that 1v1. But full control of the river right now for Doge.
Yeah, Doge in complete control right here, getting that scuttle, so they'll have even more vision control. They're not able to clean out the pink ward though, so maybe not. Oh no, they are now going to be able to get that. So that's now off the board, and very dark river here for XSRT though. Doge got to be careful not to go too far forward. You know, that would be pretty easy for the members of XSRD to collapse. They do have a lot of mobility, like we've said, a lot of that global, a lot of the long range movement. So Peekaboo isn't careful, him and Gunny could get jumped on, and as I say, that hybrid carry going in on him here. The Talia W is gonna hit, the ultimate come out from Peekaboo, the dashboard from Spearless, but Gunny gonna knock one away, and now the Doge team is moving forward. The flash out from XSRD's AD carry to get away should get them out, but now Hybrid is gonna go down. Brother Otter gonna pick up the kill. Peekaboo going a little too far though, will get turned around. Spiritless gonna pick up that kill. A huge ultimate from Waffles, but the team is too low to follow up. Getting super low, getting rooted up, and Otter is gonna pick up another one. Call him Daddy Otter because he is just owning these guys.
And in true solo queue fashion, the top laners and one of them has TP, neither of them decide to come across and try to influence their team. A really good keeper's verdict there from Gunny Thick completely changes the fight. I think that Magnet Storm from Waffles was really, really good to get Spiritless out, but obviously costing his life at the end. I think it was a well-executed fight from XSR, but I mean, it's just Poppy. It's just Poppy value. You were talking about it in draft, how much this pick can sway these team fights. I mean, no dragon has been taken just of yet, but we might be going just straight back to a round 2.
Yeah, and here we go, round 2 starting up. Peekaboo getting engaged on, gonna go down pretty quickly. Spiritless going on a killing spree with that, but Otter and them not able to follow up, and it's the startup of the dragon for this ocean.
Yeah, I think a careless mistake there from Peekaboo. You just want a great fight playing all together, and then you go and, you know, face check Dragon against 4 people. Complete control of the bushes is in XSR's hands. All vision is had. They know, you know, there's no one following Peekaboo right now. This guy's completely out of position. They take him down. The Dragon over themselves, and I believe that it's Hextech Soul, even though on the top left it's Sisters Ocean. Which, I mean, it benefits, you know, champions like Mel, but champions like Talia, right? Champions like Pantheon, who have any amount of poke to AoE slow the team. I mean, even if you're, you know, Grand Star falling in, it's going to chain to everybody. But the biggest part of this is you get more time for this Kai'Sa to scale up, and then obviously on the other side you have more time for this Sivir to scale up too. But Kai'Sa has 3 kills. You know, a decent enough CS lead. This Kai'Sa is going to hit a breakpoint much earlier than this Sivir is.
Yeah, and Sivir, you know, has, even though it was alone for quite a while in that bottom lane with all that fighting that was going on top, really haven't seen them kind of come up here. Still down in farm, still behind the Kai'Sa, despite having so much time as Aatrox forced to burn the ultimate, but Mord going forward. Punky gonna pick up that kill pretty easily and just walk away from the turret. The 1v1 just is not gonna be going in Aatrox's favor, I think, for the rest of this game.
Yeah, I mean, the crucial part there is Purple has TP. Hold on, Thought Hybrid carry caught.
Yeah, Gunny gonna stun him up, knock him up. Brother Otter is here. They're gonna get another root. He's looking for the kill, and Peekaboo's gonna pick that one up there. Down goes the XSRD carry. You know, at least Mordekaiser's there. Wouldn't presume the others, but
Yeah, the rest of the team. I mean, they're hovering, right? This tower to take. Herald is up soon. The crucial part of that 1v1 in top lane is wasn't quite there. Purple needed a little bit more gold. But it was gold that he could have waited out, right? Because he got it in base. So it was one more wave worth of gold to get this first item. And he has TP. If he had just waited one wave, not gotten caught, and then TP'd back, he probably could have won that 1v1 or very close to it. A very strong first item on Aatrox. Mordekaiser had already finished Riftmaker, now has boots. Herald getting started up, but looks like XSR don't care. They want this Sivir in bot lane.
yeah, gotta be careful right there as the ult comes in, the Magnet Storm coming through, and everyone just dives right on. But that's also Kai'Sa ultimate. And Kai'Sa getting kind of low here. Spiritless gotta be careful. Punky is here, looking to maybe make something happen. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, all the stuns coming through, and Purple will fall. Brother Otter gonna go on a killing spree, and they're gonna take this mid turret. They're gonna drop the Herald for it. Meanwhile, on the bottom side, Mord gonna start pushing them out. Here comes XSRD. Oh, they're charging for this turret. Doge looking to at least get some damage on it, and they will, but Hybrid will stun up Brother Otter. Maybe not the direction you wanted to go there, buddy. He is gonna fall, and Hybrid Carrier is gonna pick up the shutdown.
Yeah, a ambitious drive, to say the least, for sure. But a mistake. You can't be giving over shutdowns in a game like this. You're significantly ahead, especially on this Mel. Okay, fine, you lose your Sivir to a dive, but, you know, you get a kill in mid lane, get the Herald, take the tower, just let it crush on its own, or just let it die. Go back, spend some gold, and take another team fight. But instead, Brother Otter decides to drive it on his own, sees the members, and still goes for it. Honky into the death realm.
Yeah, looking for him here. Waffles coming up from the river, though. He doesn't know he's here, but Purple is losing this pretty hard, and now Hunky got to fight 3 members. Can he pick anything off? No, Spiritless gonna grab and go on a rampage. Doge, I feel like every time they find a lead, they start getting too excited and pushing too far forward. They're not respecting XSRD's power to be able to kill them. Their potential to do it. Mord is strong, but it's a Rel. She can just rip your shield up, and that's like half your tankiness. So I don't know if trying to just push this far forward, and we saw it with Peekaboo earlier, we saw it with Brother Otter with that Herald, just pushing aggressively when you don't know where your opponents are, it's just too problematic, and they've really just got to just temper their expectations a bit.
Here's the globals.
Yeah, globals coming through the Talia wall. Hybrid Carry also going looking for Brother Otter, who's trying to run away, forced to flash out, drops the barrier. Here comes the verdict, and it is going to send Hybrid out of there. Meanwhile, Spiritless getting dived on by Peekaboo, who's gonna pick up that kill. He's slain Spiritless. Hybrid Carry now looking for him. Personify just chucking away with those Sivir throws. And here comes Punky looking for him. Gunny gonna lock up Hybrid Carry. Hybrid Carry hoping he can maybe pick up Gunny. He's not gonna be able to, just gonna flash out. Brother Otter gonna pick up Robust Octopus there while he is running. And the flash forward from Punky Russ gonna pick up Hybrid Carry. And that will be all she wrote for XSRD on this dragon. Gonna go over to Doge.
Well, you can see simultaneously the benefits for a comp like XSR, but also the faults in a comp that relies so heavily on globals and, one really solid damage dealer in this Kai'Sa, where you make a play onto Brother Otter in the bot lane. It doesn't quite work. Keeper's Verdict again from Gunny Thick is quite good, but the fight is split, which is not at all how you want to take the fight. You want pick on side like you got, and Spiritless ulting with you to get the kill as well. Obviously, Keeper's Verdict might have made it even worse, but when you take split fights like this, the Kai'Sa has no bodyguards and is quite useless in these fights, dies very quickly to something like a Xin Zhao, right? People like the Sivir get much more value. 0 kills but 5 assists from a champion who didn't have any impact earlier on. Gunny Thick looking for Robust Octopus right now. Send him to the wall.
They're gonna stun him up. Robust Octopus really not doing a lot of damage here, and Brother Otter's gonna come to secure it. Gonna slay his lane nemesis. This has been a really rough game for Octopus. It's just not been able to find, has gotten a couple assists, but for the most part, it's just getting picked off in fights. Really doesn't have the damage, isn't able to deal with even the support we saw there. Just doing barely any damage with everything in the kitchen sinking in front of Gunny. Now, Peekaboo and Gunny have found Hybrid Carry, but Gunny gonna get blown up. Spiritless just shredding right through, and Personify is here. Hasn't able to get any damage out still. Only on the one item. Peekaboo on the run, getting stunned up. Gonna go back in, looking for something here. Almost finds Spiritless, but will get taken down. And the Kai'Sa, really the big factor right now for XSRD. They've been trying to funnel resources into it. It's been working out. It is at 2 items, and while the team overall is still struggling, this Kai'Sa is nothing to sneeze at.
For the most part, a lot of these champions are kind of gold independent, I guess is what I'll say. Rel doesn't really care if she's infinitely behind, which she is, right? Poppy has gotten 2 kills, gotten some of the shutdowns as well. Rel doesn't really care. Has a support item, has a locket. That's kind of it. Maybe you get one other item, but most likely it's just boots and that's it. Talia, behind significantly in the gold department, but if you can cripple and engage or get a shove back, that's all you really need to do. Pantheon is just CC, Aatrox is just CC and a body to put in front of Kai'Sa. As long as Spiritless has gold and has time, space, and his summoner spells available, he can really carry this team. No flash on Spiritless right now for a little bit more, but they're looking in mid. Remember, there's a spell shield here. Disengage might not work, and just a fake out.
Yeah, looking to maybe trying to find Personify. Like you said, not unfortunately going to find it, but they are still finding. They're still finding angles. They're still finding opportunities that they can just look for somebody. There's it's something Doge has to respect is XSRD might be behind, but anyone gets caught out, they're dead. They're just instantly dead. We saw it right there when Gunny and Peekaboo were trying to do that fight. We're seeing it if anybody walks out, even Punky or anyone like that. You still got to respect this team. It is still a pretty powerful dive comp that can really find picks. But
yeah, you saw that in the fight before, right? When the team fight from XSR doesn't go the way you want it to, when it's split up, when Keeper's Verdict does hit correctly. Gunny Thick walking forward, fearless right now. Yeah, looking for Waffles. Peekaboo gonna go in on him right there as well. Spiritless is here, but so is every member of Doge. And Brother Otter gonna pick that up and go on a killing spree.
Now, without the engaged support, this could get a little rough. Punky taking a couple hits from Robust Octopus, but like we said, very low damage. And the Atacon gonna get started up. There is no vision on this, so XSRD does not know that they are doing this right now. I guess they could assume it, considering they're not a map, but there it's going to go down. Peekaboo going to secure that for the team, and they're just going to rotate over XSRD and take this mid turret. Try to get at least something for their troubles. We'll grab that right there. So, 5,000 gold currently separates these two teams, and it's still anyone's game. You know, while Doge has the lead, it's still a lot that XSRD can do. Oh, that was mean. That was uncalled for.
Come on, guys. Come on.
Just knocking up your backing jungler. How rude. How rude.
You can see how the fight kind of breaks down for XSR when they aren't able to use their globals to make a pick right on a side lane. They have to be 5. They have to be together, and as soon as one member is dead, as soon as Waffles falls, the fight's off. You can't fight anymore. That's one, set of CC, one engage, one body less for Kai'Sa. They don't want this fight, though, around the dragon. They want it around anywhere that XSR are, pushing them out of the river into the top side. And XSR just able to, all they can get here is just another tower. And it is good gold on Kai'Sa, but Hex Soul now. So Hex Soul point, I should say, for Doge. That's a TP up.
Oh yeah, that's
what is he doing?
Yeah, why would you go teleport to that? You know they're all there. You're not going to defend that. I feel like Punky maybe a little bit too overconfident, too big for his britches with what he's built. But yeah, what a crazy. And now it's gonna be another turret for XS. Oh nope, they don't have the minions. So no
huge. Punker's got the minion wave low enough so that they couldn't get both a tier 1 Mordekaiser kill and a tier 2. Huge play from him. Big props there, Conqueror. Well done.
I feel like the kill was worth more than the turret. Is Octopus using the wall, trying to get over to Brother Otter, both of them burning their flashes. And Otter's gonna get out fine. Meanwhile, Gunny has found Hybrid Carry, who gets over the wall, managing to just barely get away, but not for long. Gunny gonna pick that up, and Peekaboo going forward, looking for Spiritless. They're trying to knock him up. The ult comes through, and Spiritless gonna go on a rampage. Waffles is here to help him out, and a double kill for the Kai'Sa.
I mean, as Hybrid Carry there, you've got to be molding about how much damage the support with one item just did to you. That was disgusting. But Spiritless remains the main character of this story for XSR. And they have to continue to do plays like this if they want to make it to playoffs. This game still feels good for Doge if you're able to land onto Spiritless with any form of CC. If Peekaboo has more space around him, remember this, like, Personify still needs more time. You're talking about the 6-item Silver Spike, we're a while away from that. But Hex Soul would really help. Baron has now spawned. It looks like XSR are going towards that right now.
Yeah, they're kind of gaining vision control of that area, and I think the biggest problem I have with all these deaths is that it always happens when they have a bounty on their head, because they're like only getting that aggressive once they see the bounty, and it's like, okay, maybe you see a bounty on your head and go, maybe I should not be aggressive. And ooh, Waffles looking for Gunny, gonna break his shield. But yeah, it's just like you have bounties on your head. You're funneling gold now to Kai'Sa on 3 items, and we'll see where she's at after she backs next. But yeah, this is not where you want the enemy AD carry to be at, and continuing to funnel them extra gold on top of just killing you is probably not the approach to go per se. And it has dropped the gold lead down. It was down to about 3,000. It's back to 4,000. So Doge, maybe losing against the picks, but at least winning out in the farm game, pretty much. And yeah, just cleaning up. If Doge cleans this up a little bit, I think this should be an easy win for them at this point. Their comp is coming online. While, like you said, we still have a way to go before 6-item Sivir. It's still Sivir farming up pretty well. She is still at a mild spike at this point, I would say. Maybe once she gets the IE fully, like that mid spike, before she needs more items to get fully online. And members of XSRD looking maybe to look for flank opportunities, but Yo's just going to try to gain vision control around this Dragon Pit, start setting up. I think they'd be very willing to trade the Baron for the Soul. Hex Soul is pretty powerful in those slows. Would be really great, you know, having a Sivir speed up as well as those slows could be, like, allow them just to mow down and prevent XSRD from escaping. And the mid lane getting pushed out here. So the members of Doge return from their back. So Kai'Sa gets part of Azania's. Gonna be looking to go in, be able to save her life a little bit. Meanwhile, for Personify, getting very close to that IE, just a part of an item and the final away from it. So close to a big spike for her.
And you've got only a minute before this next Drake. I think if you're Doge, just defend the Baron with vision, give this Drake. You don't need to force Soul here. You don't want to take a fight right now when your ADC, pardon me, is, you know, their core 3 items down. Very, very close to finishing that. You've got 3 dragons. Enemy team only has 1. Just give this Drake. Defend Baron with vision. It's very hard for XSR to start a Baron and flip it in the face of a Poppy. It's just not something you want to do. And if, you know, XSR do go towards doing that, sure, walk in, keep his verdict out, most of the team, and take the fight, clean it up. I really don't want to see Doge fight this Drake and throw the game away. Give Kai some more kills. And the reason I'm saying like around this Drake is I don't even think for XSR the play around the Drake is for the objective. So Keeper's Verdict doesn't really matter that much because, you know, 2 of your members can global ult back. And you want to take the fight, not the objective. But it looks like Doge are walking in.
Yeah, Doge has decided that they've heard the opposite of what you said and are looking to set up around this. They really want this Soul. They see it as a big part of their win condition. Punky going to get thrown forward. Half health already on this Mordekaiser, so may have to back and TP in unless he can get a little bit of healing here on the side. And Doge just gonna go to push mid, I guess? Just let the dragon go, not even go for the Baron. Okay, they are looking to get a turret, maybe get a fight in this jungle. Would be a very good spot for them. It's a small, tight space, lots of ability for them to stop the engages coming through. But it was just instead just going to see everyone backing away and they're going, hey, we can break this inhibitor turret down as Talia goes in with the wall. Good wall right there, separating 2 members. Waffles goes in with the ult Spiritless as well, and they're going to shut down Brother Otter. Peekaboo might be the next to fall. He is on the run, though. Gunny running. Flash from purple is not going to be enough, and the blast cone to escape. Peekaboo is going to get out fine, but Doge sets... Oh, Wayham might not be over just yet. Everyone continuing to go forward. The Baron is started up, and Personify, where are you going, my friend? Your team is at the Baron. Personify!
He wants nothing to do with this. He's running it down. Tyler 1, right-click in the Nexus.
Oh my goodness, and Spiritless is going to be dominating as Peekaboo does fall. It's just Punky ulting onto Hybrid Carrier now, hoping maybe he can pick up 1 before he falls inevitably as well. And he will go down. It's going to be a double cure for Spiritless. Personify, I guess, does get the turret, but if given up the bear, I feel like there was potential for the fight there. They're going to get the inhibitor, so at least trying to get something, but I don't know. I just feel that you could have taken that with Baron, and I feel like they could fight around that. It's going to fall pretty quick. I don't know. Gunny maybe looking to pick up Waffles here if he can. So Waffles is going to walk away, and... Okay, so... I guess, like, in terms of neutral... Oh, and Gunny might be looking for something right here. He's looking for Hybrid Carry, gonna go in with a stun in the queue, and gonna fall. But can they pick up anything off that on the side? Hybrid Carry is gonna go down. Personify gonna pick up that kill. Now Brother Otters here's gonna pick up Waffles. They're looking for Purple. Purple is gonna not be able to get Personify, who will flash out, but he will die as well as Talia goes over the wall with their own flash. A shutdown onto Personify, a kill onto Brother Otter as well. 3 for 2. Go in favor of XSRD as Doge gets a little too overconfident, just the 2 of them.
Yeah, this is a thing that teams will do when, you know, they are in a really uncomfortable position and are inexperienced in what to do in said uncomfortable position. Inhibitors don't really give you anything. They don't really give you much gold. They give you super minions that you can't use. All you're doing is feeding gold, Peekaboo, feeding a kill over to Spiritless. This game is all said and done.
I think so, as Gunny looking to maybe get in here to help out Punky, but looking for Purple, knocking him up, and he will go down, but they will also lose Punky in the process. The turret as well will fall, and Doge, you said you were worried about throwing out the dragon. They just throw out the Baron instead.
There's been a series of throws in this entire game for Doge. I mean, they find a pick, maybe two, get a gold lead, and then overchase. And almost every single one of their overchases was into the waiting hands of Spiritless. 12-1. That's a scoreline you don't want any AD carry to have at all. But that's a Kai'Sa. That is a scaling hyper carry ADC with the Uzi skin, I should add. So I don't know if it's minus 500 or not, but it might be minus 500. I mean, what can you say? How can you lose with the Uzi skin?
Yeah, that is literally personifying Uzi. Spiritless because he's got to keep his spirit for Uzi's spirit to take over him right now, as he is just dominating in this game, and it is swung to a 2,000 almost, or 1,500 gold lead for XSRD, and when they were down 5,000 at one point, that's a big swing. They are in a pretty solid position. Still losing the inhibitor sucks, but I feel like it's like they're far enough ahead at this point, like they're in terms of like their item builds, that it shouldn't be too hard to clear the wave. They've got a pretty good amount of wave clear between Kai'Sa and Taliyah. Not too hard to do it. That's also another issue with the inhibitor, is like if you're not committing to making a push somewhere else very quickly on the map, don't take the inhibitor. You're just all like,
you're just giving XP and gold over the Kai'Sa, like more gold.
Yeah, it's not like you're keeping someone in base to go challenge the Baron. They're already on the Baron. So you're not setting anything up by doing that. All you're doing is allowing them to get the Baron back and then just hold the wave and just get nice farm out of it. Might delay the power of their Baron, but with the wave clear they have, I feel like that's not as big an issue. They'll just clear it out and push through your super minions anyways. And now...
Don't look Kai'Sa items, please. If you're a Doge fan, don't look Kai'Sa items. That might be 6 items with Rabadon's Kai'Sa. This next fight, I'm worried for Doge.
The fight is looking to break out. Peekaboo going to get pulled back by the Aatrox. Forced to flash out. Pantheon going on in, but he gets yeeted out of there. And now Peekaboo has found, Punky has found Spiritless, sorry. He's going golden, but he's still in the Shadow Realm. He's going to come out of it. Punky still looking to pick up one, but it's not going to happen. They're going to take him down. They're going to take down the Sivir. And now so many low members. Maybe Peekaboo can find one. He is going to find one. Brother Otter going to find another as well. They're going to lose their Poppy, but on an XSRD is low. Brother Otter, full health. If he gets in close, he might be able to find a kill or two more here. But it's not going to be. So Doge loses overall 3 for 2 in the fight. 3 deaths to 2. But they do get everyone low enough. They come out ahead, and they're going to be the ones starting up this dragon first. The two of them against... Ooh, a teleport coming in from Robust Octopus. Oh, but they're going to try to turn here, see if maybe they can pick up the Aatrox before anyone else gets here. But Spiritless has arrived. Ult's on in. The Taliyah going to throw back the Mel. And it's an ace for XSRD and the Dragon to put themselves on Soul Point.
My condolences to Brother Otto. He's played this game as well as he possibly could have. Forced so much out the ult, the last second, try to get some last hits on, but just doesn't have the damage to finish off, Spiritless, these crucial kills. I think Spiritless uses Zhonya's way too early. They're full health. I think he only immunes the Mordekai's overhead smash. And he was full health and then still gets pulled in anyway. Nearly dies because he doesn't have Zhonya's to immune the damage from Brother Otter. But still, you reset. Robust Octopus still has ult and TP. You go for Soul. Unfortunately, you aren't able to get it. A Hail Mary at the end there. XSR, they're close to closing this out. 30 seconds on this Baron, and you have to feel like these fights are just going to continue going for XSR. Flash is still available for multiple members of both teams, but crucially, the engage from Doge, only Gunny Thick has Flash. Spiritless and Robust Octopus super safe in this next fight, and Waffles has Hex Flash. He's ready to go.
Yeah, and I apologize, as I said earlier, I thought this was a done deal for Doge, just given the comps, given that the picks hadn't worked out for XSRD really for a bit, but Doge has managed to just give it all back to them, and XSRD finds themselves on the front foot here. They're just in playing this so well, especially like we've been saying, Spiritless just out of his mind on this Kaisa. The question is, though, can they close it out? We've already seen Doge fail to close out the game. So now it's XSRD's turn to see if they can close it out. With the Baron up, they see a potential. They make the same mistake Doge made earlier, getting too big for the britches. They're kind of hanging out in the area, not really starting it up. Gunny Thick coming by, hybrid carry looking to maybe grab at him, but can at least force the W out of him. And that is going to be at least Brotherly Otter trying not to get caught here, but gonna be forced to flash. The Pantheon coming through, looking for Personify, but Peekaboo gonna nasty blast him away as the Keeper's Verdict comes through. It's gonna yeet away Pantheon. He's already ulted in. He's gonna join up with the rest of his team. The flash out from Robust Octopus to escape any potential engage right there. And ooh, Brother Otter getting really low. Gotta be very careful. Waffles X flashes over the wall. Oh, Gunny body blocking these Kaisa W's. Oh, it's gonna hit Otter. I don't know. He's not in range. Can't ult onto him just yet. And everyone from Doe is just trying to get out of there. They're trying to buy space so their carries can back. And oh, there goes the W. It's gonna miss Gunny Thick. And XSRD gets back into pushing. The ultimate's already almost back up though for Doge. So outside of Robust Octopus flash and Purple also flashing that fight, not too much used. Brother Otter also used one, but they all will be back up around the same time, and everything just kind of resets to how it was before the fight started.
And the biggest part of that is Purple has his ult available, right? That's the biggest part of his fight, but Gunny Thick still has another 20 or so seconds before Keeper's Verdict is back up. Maybe a little less, maybe about 15. There's a little fight window here if you wanted to take it where World Ender is available, but Keeper's Verdict is not. Doge forcing Baron. This is it.
Yeah,
they're saying this is where we stand.
Do they Dignitas it right here? Now they're going to back off. They're looking for an opportunity. Brother Otter taking more W's from this Kaisa. Getting super low.
Oh no.
Oh no, could get engaged on at any moment. Oh, the W, it's going to land! Fearless goes legendary from downtown with the plasma. Oh, that's just so sad. It's like Brother Otter is like attracted like a fly to a lamp with them, or a moth to flame. As XSRD starting up the Baron Punky going forward, flashing forward, looking for something. I don't know what he was looking for. Waffle's gonna get the Magnet Storm on, and they're gonna take down Peekaboo Personify, trying to dish out the damage, but has nothing really there to block him. Waffle's gonna flash for the stun. Spiritless goes legendary, picks that up, as they're gonna pick up the kill on to Punky as well. They will trade it for Robust Octopus, but the minions pouring into the base. I think this is gonna be the game. Gunny looking maybe to stop him here, but he's gonna get stunned, and it's gonna be an ace for XSRD as they look to close out game number 1. Brother Otter is gonna be up in just 2 seconds, but I think it's too little too late, my friend. Doge gonna drop game number 1 as XSRD rides the Uzi Spirit.
You can't lose with the skin. Gunny Thick, they had some great performances on the Poppy there, some really good stuns, good hampering of the engage, but back-to-back Keeper's Verdicts cancelled. One around the Baron, one right there at the end that didn't really mean anything. But, I mean, Spiritless just played so well. And I mean, part of that is, okay, him being in the right position at the right time, performing mechanically correctly, but partly is it's kind of unlucky that every one of those early kills and all the shutdowns went over to him to give him just so much gold. And the Sivir, it really didn't reach the height that it needed to. Same damage as your support. And yeah, when an enemy Kaisa has that much damage on you, I think turrets too. I didn't even know this was a stat, to be honest.
It is. She did as much damage, if I'm mathing that right, as Sivir, Mel, and Mordekaiser combined. More damage than them. Not more than the entire team, but at least more damage than them 3. Maybe just under those 3. Actually, now that I look at it again on second look. No, still does. Maybe. I don't know. It's still very close. Either way, that's absurd for one champion to do that much to turrets. It's just
That's
everything was
painful.
in the spiritless basket this game, and it was a honestly like just such a good performance, such a great Kaisa performance. But I also really think we should call out Doge. That was a lot of throwing. Like
Yes, it was.
it was very very questionable decisions that late on, and I'm not trying to hamper on them. I think they played well. They've got to clean it up. They've got to not get too overexcited when they're in the lead. Because if you're doing that and you're just feeding kills into the 80 carry, enemy 80 carry, you're letting them get neutral objectives and claw their way back in. It's just not going to work out.
I mean, as well going into playoffs, right? This is the last week before we go into playoffs, and if you do make it, you can't be making mistakes like that. You can't be getting leads and then throwing them against champions that aren't necessarily that great early, right?
Yeah.
Kai'Sa has a pretty rough time. We're talking about the poppy value to stop the engage from Rel. You can't be getting leads, Dragon, Soul Point. They were 3-1 in Drake's and completely losing the game like that. And I agree with you. I think, there's part luck where it's like, oh man, another one for Spiritless. But it is also, just get your small wins and slowly bleed the game out. You don't need to, ace them every fight.
Yeah, and when if you're entering playoffs, if you win this and you enter as fourth seed, like you're going to be playing the highest. Like you're going to have to play the highest seed
Yeah.
almost the entire way through the bracket. You are not going to get the chance. Like you're going to have to play the hardest teams to make your way through it, and they're going to pounce on mistakes like that even harder.
Yeah.
Like you won't get chance to make like 4 or 5 throws like just running too far in because after the first or second they're just going to have taken everything from you. So they've got to clean it up. And I'd say for on the other side, XGRD, I feel like their biggest trouble just came in just unfortunately just the execution of the champions picked by their opponents just kind of canceled out a lot of the early game advantage. But I got to give them great major credit. They definitely came back into it. They definitely used the resources that they were being fed into them, got them funneled where they needed to be, utilized their champions very effectively. Great Pantheon ults, great Taliyah walls, using those just to run people down and keep people separated in the fights. And I thought that went pretty good. Top lane, I feel like was a spot though that may need a little bit of extra help, or at least a bit like a more dominant matchup. I think if it's gonna be hand diff this game, I feel currently like Punky just has the upper hand in terms of that matchup, at least from what we've seen in so far.
Yeah.
So maybe put him on something, give him something a little bit safer that gives him a little bit more agency later in the game. Put the rest of your team kind of keeping it by like just keep the rest of your game plan going, but put your top laner on something a little bit safer. I think that's just my personal little take on this, and just getting you all ready for the analysis that we're going to start getting in the playoffs when teams are really going to be grilled in between games. But any last thing before we go to break, Gebetto?
Well, I think that side selection is important, right? I mean, I'll continue on to your point. I completely agree. Punkerus doing well in a matchup that he was counterpicked in. If as Doge, if you're not convinced about your performance, take red side. Don't worry about first pick again. Go 10th pick, counter pick, get a top lane counter, and just try to win.
I agree. I think Punky was a very bright spot for the team, even when things started to go south. Like put him on something like more does a pretty strong hero, but like you can put him on an even stronger carry. Put him on a Gangplank. Put him on on something that can, or like if it's going to be a slow farming matchup, put him on Kale. Just he can definitely carry. If you give him the tools, so maybe that's the direction they go for this next game. I know that we've also just said the same thing. XSRD put him on something safer that also could then enable if it's playing something safer, not as aggressive, even better for Punky. So we'll have to see how these teams adapt going into the next game. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? Ay, coming down like precipitation. I ain't never met a limitation. Hater plotting my elimination. Gotta go to Google for the information. I'm a superstar, so I gotta shine. Top dollar be the bottom line. Bottom feeding niggas out of line. Turn your heart rate to a dotted line. Yeah, my zodiac probably dollar sign. Got the energy to win it, my nigga, I'm feeling great. Got a date with destiny, focusing on my fate. I don't give a fuck what you rapping, you been a fake. I'm everything that they ain't, it can't be, it won't be. Wanna see me fall, I can't go, I won't leave. Coming from the block with plain clothes and police. Straight up to the top with bankrolls and rollies. Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? Ay, 12 can't really stop shit, so I'm still pushing like a mosh pit. Ice dripping, think I'm hot shit. In a yellow bucket with the mop stick. I've been jugging jams like wholesale. Everything must go sell. Hitting bitches with the oh well. Need 100 million on the low scale. On my worst night, I'm the best nigga. Wouldn't mess with you, couldn't cap to him. Homie spotted me like 700, brought 1100 right back to him. If I can't do it, then it ain't real. I just make dollars, I don't make deals. I've been going hard in the paint, still blowing kush clouds till I can't feel like. Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right?
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Conquerors League, where we just watched Doge take down XSRD. And I want to give it a quick apology to Doge. As if Sherigan had done something, and on our end, everything was reversed in terms of what we were seeing, of like who was who and what team. So this whole time, all the criticism I had of the team, that was actually of XSRD. Doge won it. And yeah, good game from Doge.
Yeah, players are still correct, but the names were flipped. And please go on a witch hunt about that graphical error. We're going into a game 2. I mean, I think Hypercarries is still the name of the game for Doge. I think that Spiritless performed really well on that, so I can see him doing the same on something like a Jinx, or a Zeri if that's in the champ pool. Obviously, I think that the team plays quite well around that kind of mentality where you've got playmaking jungler, go towards a Vi. Obviously, that was banned, but go towards something like that. Pardon me. Build a team comp around with an engaged support. Leona's still available, Alice is still available. You could even go towards a Rakan, pardon me. And then go at a late game scaling AD carry.
Yeah, I agree. I think that would be something good to see out of them. But we've also got, a little change, it looks like. Yeah, we're talking about the patch notes, actually, because as everyone knows, today it's a new patch. Like we said earlier, there has been adjustments to Kled, so they've been big enough that he has been banned for this week. Same with Yunara, and since it's the last week before playoffs, Yunara will just be banned throughout playoffs, so there will be no Yunara until next season, unfortunately. Also had some adjustments for a couple other champions in the patch notes, too.
Yeah, I think that the biggest one for me is, I think Ziggs is the thing that I want to see teams go towards. Pardon me. If you're a great Azir player, sure, pick that, but it's getting banned, so that's fine. These changes for Ziggs are, like, unbelievably strong. Like, buffing late game scaling on his Q is a decision that, got passed by someone, is how I'll put that. I think that if you're a Ziggs player, which I don't think is too difficult, like it's not like you have to put in a ton of games to be playable at Ziggs. I think this champion is really strong. If you can go like Ziggs Leona, that lane's really oppressive. Have, again, like a playmaking AD jungler. If you get the Vi, it's so strong. But if you're not going to go towards that, I think that, just play the scaling AD carries. We're talking about Punkers as well. Get a counter pick. We approach draft, so we're going to have a look at what side that Greed went to go with. So they do take red side. So this does give Punkers counter pick if he wants it.
Okay. So, counter pick for Punk.
It's not 1 versus 1 though on the series. That score is wrong.
Yeah, it's 1-0 right now in Doge's favor, and there goes the Azir as well. Something I wanted to bring up also from those patch notes that I think is important was for Unsealed Spellbook. So they nerfed really hard the Smite change. So Smite no longer caps at the max level with Ultimate Spellbook at 1200. It's 900. So not quite as powerful as it was where it used to be. As you could get 1200 before the junglers even could now smite a jungler. But it hasn't done. Alright, so
Cope. I'm hearing a lot of cope in production right now.
Okay, so a lot of mid lane bans coming through here from both sides. One jungle, I guess you could have flex of the Diana that that would flex a little bit into mid or jungle. Is the Volibear gonna come here for? I think honestly could be flex between purple and hybrid.
Yeah. This is the thing. When you're playing a competitive match, as Shen's picked up here, and you're banning from blue side, Azir, Vi, Victor, that's fine. You can't play them, you don't want to pick them. You're banning them on red side too. Like, if you're banning them on both sides, so you don't want to let them over, you don't have a counter to it, and you can't play them either, it's a massive hole in your drafting when you have to ban these three on both sides, that's actually a Syndra and an Orianna. I'm just going to let the draft do its thing. All right, looks like we've got an Orianna Nocturne picked up the Doge right now, which is a really strong combo, very threatening. Syndra Jarvan is also a really good combo. Jarvan great into Orianna. The Syndra will, outrange the Orianna for the beginning of the game. Obviously, Orianna, you're playing for the ball, so later on when you're playing with the Nocturne, Orianna's going to have more range. Corki picked up against the Jarvan, right? Great pick against that, has mobility, has a lot of range, and now Lucian picked up by XSV. With no support here, I think if you're Doge, it's just Nami Braum ban, and send it to, second phase of picks. I think if you're banning anything else, you're making mistakes. Obviously, there's still engaged supports that are playable, right? Leona is okay. You can go with Hook Champ, a Pike, maybe. Nautilus ban away from Doge here as they get their last ban here. There's our Fearless bans down the bottom as well. It's all getting there slowly, right? Ooh, Nami's up. Let's pick an army.
Yeah, just leaving the Nami up. Okay, the cannon is something they really fear from Punky. So, see, that's the Milio actually. Okay, also a good. I think that's also a good pick. His passive very powerful. With it, especially the range addition, can really allow Peekaboo to just blast through Lucian, be a really aggressive lane bully. The Nami actually coming over for Doge, so that's why it wasn't banned. They wanted it. They didn't think SSRD would take it. Okay, so then what's going to be the top lane pick here?
You need some kind of tank engage.
Okay, it's
so
gonna
it is
be
going to be the Volibear.
Okay, we saw into the future, and the future was bears. Always bears.
We bears,
We bears.
Conqueror is here. 10th counter pick.
Shen.
It is going to be the Shen.
Wait.
So we did see both of those earlier. We saw into the future and saw a ninja and a bear. So that's the top lane matchup. We did need CC and engage / tank from both of these teams in their, last pick from their top laners, which, obviously both teams go towards. I think giving Spiritless Corki, it's not a hyper carry. It's also not the worst thing. I think that Peekaboo. Sorry, no, it was that's the official one. His personified. I think that the Lucian is a much better look. I think it's really aggressive early game. I think that it allows the mid game to be a lot more playable rather than you're playing Sivir and just farming waves. So I'm happy that we've got a bit of a different look in the AD carry role.
Yeah, I kind of, so my puzzling is always I think of Shen going with everything else on XSRD kind of makes me feel like it should be a hyper carry AD carry. But I think Lucian's still, I see it, Lucian's going for the lane bullying. I worry about his late game a little bit more, comparatively to Corki. That might just be me, just being an old school Lucian player. But I do think it is a pretty solid comp. It has a lot of good parts. It scales well. And for the side of Doge, still also a good comp. I think it's got a little bit harder of an execution to pull off because you have to combo together between the Nocturne, the Volibear, and the Ori. And that can just be a little bit harder to kind of get all together as opposed to Jarvan, Shen, Syndra. But I still think this is a good comp. I think it is also good to pick the Shen into the Volibear. I think he does very well into that. And Shen is honestly probably the strongest top laner right now. So I think that's good to see. And, they took our advice there. They are going with a carry top laner.
And there's a lot more of an early skirmishing team comps, right? With the Kai'Sa, you wanted to play for that late game, but you've got Lucian, Milio, Jarvan, and then you've got Nocturne, Orianna, sending ults at each other. Level 3, fighting in bot lane. Level 6, ulting in from Nocturne. Are these...
I guess those...
I have to check. Are these name changes mid-set, or did players sub back in? Because it's not... It is Peekaboo and Wheelchair Jungler, not who it was last game.
Yeah, last game was Personify, so I guess they did switch back.
Okay.
Peekaboo now in the AD carry
Oh.
So, doing a little switch over there. But sorry. So actually, it would have been Doge that needed the counter pick for the top side, but they didn't get to pick, so that's okay. And the bear, he's gonna get beat up a little bit here from the Shen. And meanwhile, on the bottom side, looks like Lucian doing what Lucian does. Though it could be a little hard. Corki's got quite a bit of range.
Yeah, it's like level 2, level 3 before Lucian's really, hits that spike with Milio. You have all your abilities and then you can trade really effectively. Obviously, the Nami is going to hamper a lot of that because she can just heal it back up. Obviously, you got to be careful if you dash forward into a bubble, the trade will go completely the other direction. Now, really early ward on Red Buff will spot out the pathing of jungle there. So that's quite important. You know where this Jarvan is pathing towards, going down towards the bot lane. In fact, both junglers are pathing towards bot lane. I mean, this is going to be like a level 3, level 4 fight around bot scuttle. I have to feel like first blood is coming on that scuttle. As like if hybrid carry wants to go towards, he doesn't want to fight at all. Feels like the fight is bad, which I agree. I think just drop that scuttle, go top scuttle with your top prio. I'm worried that if you fight over this scuttle crab that Greed are going to get first blood pretty easily. But I mean that's quite hypothetical here. I think if you're Nocturne, Orianna, Volibear, you're looking for level 6 again. I think you want to play level 6, rotate this Orianna out of lane and try to gank either top side or down bot. Super easy to land this combo. And there's not too much in the Gunny Thick can do on Emilio right now, like early. Later on, when you've got a bunch of items, bunch of shield, ult, plus your heal, you can basically keep Peekaboo alive through the beginning of that burst. Obviously, then you've got a Volibear on your head and there's still a Nocturne there. Plus, Corki's got a lot of range. But for this early part, level 6 is really the breakpoint for Doge. This bot lane is just going to get harder and harder for the beginning of this game for Doge.
Now we're going to see Purple getting a nice duel here. Oh, the flash! Flashes too early there and gets confused, and Punky's going to take him with his own flash. So, first blood over to the side of XSRD.
I mean, you are pushing in wave super easily. And then, unfortunately, take a 1v1. I don't think you needed to take a 1v1 at all. Just push in the wave, take your TP back. I mean, it's not the end of the world, right? Might make the lane a little bit harder, but both top laners have TP, so Purple can go straight back to pushing in that top wave. And the best thing about Punky getting gold is he's just a big wall that Doge are going to have to get through to keep Peekaboo alive, or to take down Peekaboo. And I think that's the biggest pivot point of their comp, is that without this Shen, they don't have a ton of frontline agency. Jarvan EQ R's in and dies because he's stuck in his own ult, he's stuck in Cataclysm. He just gets shockwaved right then and there. Syndra, yeah, okay, she can find a stun, a knockback. Maybe. Lucian can, look to aggressively use his culling, but the Shen really changes the deal here because he could be anywhere, post level 6. He can obviously shield whoever is getting ulted by the Nocturne. And then even then, he can play like a front to back dive where he just goes in 1v3, 1v4 as the Nocturne ults in, and he will live, the Nocturne will not live. So then you take down the Nocturne as the Lucian plus the Syndra, then Wheelchair can EQ flash R in. You don't have a jungler, you don't have Shockwave anymore. These team fights for XSR, they can be very creative, and it is going to be about how they can be creative, because for Doge, it's just press R and walk forward, right? Nami ult if you need it. Poke with Corki, but it's just Nocturne, Orianna, Volibear, press R on top of 5 people. Grid have a bit of a harder execution, but they can be more creative. Dragon getting started up by Wheelchair right now.
Yeah, and Wheelchair kind of hanging out in the area, looking to maybe come down here, but not much XSRD can really do right now in terms of getting him into a good gank position. It's hard to gank a Corki. And so far, gold lead, about dead even between these two teams. And yeah, it's just a slow farming. It's much slower than last game. outside that first death, it's been pretty quiet.
It's a bit I feel like this is kind of backwards. I feel like, you know, Lucian Jarvan level 3 to 6 is really strong. I want to see that early, but last game with the globals, they were fighting like level 2, level 3. And the Nocturne just hit level 6 now. He's, you know, skipped the dragon, got a camp, which means that Wheelchair is 1 camp away from getting level 6 as well. Shen, level 6. I mean, these are the breakpoints that I was talking about a little bit before. And you can already see Hybrid Carry walking aggressively, looking to, you know, scout out Syndra, maybe top lane, down in bot.
Yeah, getting close there onto Waffles, but he's going to get out fine. It is Anami, so he's going to heal back up. Peekaboo, though, kind of low. Gotta be careful. Corki, you can't disrespect the Corki, especially as soon as he hits 6. He's just going to start blasting you with those rockets. Overall, also in the middle. Oh! Robust Octopus getting blasted with the ultimate. He is still alive and is going to walk out with... I've got it. Yeah, it is single-digit health. Yeah, Unleash Power not enough to finish him off. And whoo!
You know what's crazy about that? Is that Brother Otter's flash was forced earlier. If he had flash, he could have auto-flashed and got the kill.
Yeah,
like literally perfectly enough damage that Robust lives, but Peekaboo.
Peekaboo getting kind of low here, forced to dash to the left because of the bubble. Bubble is gonna land though! And Gunny gonna push them back. Same with Punky using the ultimate there. The Stand United is going to dissuade any further aggression, but that is 2 ultimates and an exhaust and a heal burned from XSRD. And all that was burned on the other side was Tidal Wave and heal for from Waffles. So I'd say overall Doge came out ahead. Now with no Stand United, they've got a lot of opportunity for later on to come back into this, as Doge gonna claim these little guys, these little voidlings.
This is dangerous.
Oh, Grubs.
There's no vision here. I don't think that Doge
I don't think they know. Otter's coming down. He's looking for it. Oh, Spiritless getting low. Oh, he's looking for Peekaboo. He's going to get hit, though, by the Scatter of the Weak. He's looking forward. He dashes forward looking for Peekaboo, but Brother Otter's going to pick him up, and now Waffle's forced to flash as well. Wheelchair Jungle's ult is down. He's going to keep trying to chase him. The heal trying to come through, but is not going to happen. Otter's going to get a double for his troubles and give him the Feet of Warfare.
And this is a similar look to last game, with Brother Otter getting off to a strong start and being a very solid pillar for his team. But the difference this game is not only is Spirit not on a Kai'Sa, but falls down. Last game, he was basically untouched and unlooked at the entire game. But instead now, he's fallen down 1 and losing CS, which again, he was up CS last game. Kai'Sa against the Sivir. So already much better from Greed.
Yeah. Yeah, it's looking much, much better. Just putting him on something aggressive. It's night and day difference. Like, really, it feels like. Definitely showing a lot more aggression, a lot more playmaking here. Peekaboo getting the ult off, going through, but here comes Nocturne. He's looking for him. Peekaboo already forced to dash. It is gonna fall. Hybrid Carry gonna pick him up there. A flash from Gunny to get out of things. Wheelchair gonna have to dive past them all to get out of there himself. And now Doge, you gotta try to walk out of here. Robust Octopus coming down to kind of escort them, but Jungler's still there. Wheelchair getting kind of poked at. Spiritless has the rocket, so he's gonna keep blasting them. And Hybrid Carry picked up that Krug, so at least taking some jungle camps from, but a good kill there for Doge.
Yeah, I feel like this is just, like, I can't help but think that this is this team's hubris. This is Greed's hubris, where they start well, and then for some reason Peekaboo says, I'm going to culling in the face of 3 people with no flash. Why? Why not just sit under your tower until your support gets back and then play the dragon fight? Like, I don't understand why you need to rip ult in the face of 3 people when one of them is a Nocturne. Wheelchair Jungler looking back to try to even this up again. Spotted on the ward.
Oh, yep. Here comes the ultimate from Wheelchair. He knows Waffles doesn't have his flash, so he will fall. A good pick up there for XSRD. Looking a lot more confident this game. Definitely feeling better. Maybe also, you know, it was that swap too. moving your jungler to AD carry, clearly a more comfortable position for him. This might have been it. Maybe it's just like it was just, oh, you know, we have to have a sub for game one. We're just gonna take it, try to play our best, and you know, see how it goes. And definitely feels a lot different.
And having to bail out your ADC with the jungler, I mean, that's what you're there for. You force an army flash earlier and take him
Octopus
down.
getting, oh, lives again. Ooh. So good at living on the edge. Yeah. Just again, like, Brother Otter's got to be just kicking himself. God, I cannot believe this is the second time I haven't gotten her. And Punky and Purple just kind of blasting back, slapping back and forth each other, but they're so tanky, it's not really doing a lot. Well, I guess not tanky, they just don't really have... Their innate tankiness is more than the innate than the damage they've built. They both build a lot of damage AD and AP.
I mean, even though you don't get the kill, it's still an effective death. Like, it's not, you don't get gold, but you force it around to go back to base, and then you rotate over to Dragon, get the second Drake, and it is a Hex Soul again this game, which, I mean, you've got Lucian, Syndra, like, that's decent range. You know, Lucian with culling, or, you know, when he gets Rapid Fire Cannon, can proc that pretty easily. And obviously the Syndra can proc that super easily, so another game, another Hex Soul, but this time, Greed 2 dragons up.
Will they be able to hold it out is the question. They already have 1 feat. Question is, can they secure the next? It's 2 for 1 right now in XSV.
They won't. History told us that they might not be able to hold it out.
That's
though, you know?
that's true. That is true. History has shown otherwise. And Peekaboo drops the culling onto Waffles. Keeps doing that like on cooldown, whether or not it's getting the kill. As the ult coming in, the double combo onto the Syndra. Hybrid carry gonna pick up Brother Otter there. Doge getting right back into it now. Spearless trying to fight Peekaboo. The tidal wave coming on through. The knockup. Oh, the cleanse coming a little early there, and Spiritless just going to barely get out there. Forced to pull the Stand United. And the Worm Hugs just to keep Peekaboo alive there. They might be looking for this. Gunny is kind of hanging out in the area.
TP from Purple behind.
Yeah, Purple coming in behind, looking for him, gonna get the stun onto Lucian. The dunk's coming through, forcing the flash out of Peekaboo. They're just gonna stop and turn. It's Punky now who's the focus here. He's trying to pick up Fierce. He flashes forward, but the barrier will keep him also on just barely double digits. 21 health I saw there at the lowest. And Doge turns around, almost takes a 1-for-1 trade, but manages to just come out ahead.
I mean, Doge continue to find these little wins here and there. You agreed, again, off to a strong start, but it's these team fights and the team play from Doge that continues to be just better. Nocturne Orianna find a kill in mid, then an overstep in bot lane, a TP from Purple finds a kill in bot. These are small missteps that they're not as bad as last game, sure, but they do add up. The gold lead, there's not a lead, in fact. You should have a lead, you don't.
You gotta be. I feel like they've needed to, like, I know they've been aggressive, but it almost feels like they needed to be more aggressive, especially on that bottom side. Like, your Lucian is 0-1 and 2 at 15 minutes. He's like, that's just, I mean, it's a little bit of work, but I feel like you should be pressing harder. You should be looking for more play-making opportunities because I mean, it's Lucian. Corki's going to beat you in the late game. You need to get ahead of him. Speaking of getting ahead, they're looking to get ahead on this Rift Herald here, but Doge turns, and now they're looking for the Lucian. He drops the culling, but Waffles is going to roll over him with that tidal wave right there. Meanwhile, Herald has just been kept there by XSRD. That's nice, a wheelchair jungle and Brother Otter to kind of hold that. Both of them get stunned, both to get knocked up, and that's going to be actually the steal there for Waffles. I take it all back, spoke too soon, but Spiritless gonna pick up 1 kill there onto wheelchair, gonna pick it up onto Gunny Thick too. It's actually gonna go over to Robust Octopus, and they lose the Herald, but they get 3 in the overall extended fight.
And they only end up losing a support. I mean, it's still the same thing. It's just disrespect from Greed. They walk in way too aggressively. Peekaboo's on a ward by himself, split off from his support even. And Hybrid goes, Yama snack and ult immediately. Insta-kills Peekaboo. Nothing he can do. And yeah, Wheelchair Jungle forces to basically sacrifice himself for the Herald. And Gunny Thick does actually pick it up, which, I mean, if Gunny Thick didn't, like, walk in and also sacrifice himself, there would have been no Herald pickup because Wheelchair Jungle was stuck in the pit and died before he was able to get it. I just can't see a world in which these teamfights start going better without, like, a late game 5v5 where Punky is around. Whenever, like, it's so easy to cancel his ult, right, for purple. I don't really, like, know if it gets much better for a while, right? Brother Otter is still, like, just standing here, cat to spare, going, guys, what are you doing? Can we just group up and fight? Can we just stack Drakes, please? And that Drake is 15 seconds away. It would be soul point for Greed if they were able to get it. Doge, they need to start stacking on their own if they want a chance of getting that. The Nocturne Oriana combo is just up now. Hybrid looking down bot.
And yeah, it is not showing up there on the graphic, but Feats went over to XSRD with that Herald take, so they do have the semi-upgraded boots. So they'll be able to buy those bigger upgrade ones. So that could be actually a big factor for them to get the extra go. Meanwhile, Waffles getting engaged on there. The Jarvan ult comes through, but so does Hyper Carry. They're going forward from Spiritless, looking to grab Peekaboo, and he is going to pick him up. Spiritless goes on a killing spree. Hybrid Carry now we're trying to run on to Gunny and Wheelchair. Wheelchair will get out. Gunny going to get bubbled up, but no one there to follow up. And once again, counter gank from Doge ends up winning. Now Wheelchair looking to maybe see if he can flank around here. Look, see if he can get onto the dragon, but they're doing it so slowly. He's got to be careful. They know he's there. Another Otter's on the way, though. Could be a potential here as they go on in, forcing the flash out of Robust Octopus. Wheelchair gonna get ulted, though, but not before Punky arrives. Gonna grab Hybrid Carry, who flashes the beginning of that, but here comes Purple in the back. They're gonna grab onto Robust Otter. He's going forward there, looking for Punky, and he will pick him up. And that's gonna be a 3-for-1 in favor of Doge, and they get the dragon as well.
There was a timer there where, after the Nocturne ult was used, you know, Brother Otter had time to walk down, and Punky had both ult and TP, and they waited too long, and he's back for more. Flash for flash.
Oh, the dunks come on through. Waffle's going to pick up the kill onto these fellows, onto his counterpart support, and Purple going to grab the kill onto Peekaboo as they grab this bottom turret as well. First turret of the game. And they also grab the one in mid, too, so first and second. Doge with a huge couple minutes here in the game. It's starting to look like last time. XSRD just giving the game away.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a spirit diff, isn't it? He's just playing so well, and his team is playing around him. I think that this is a really good example of when you've got a good player, of how to play around them, and how to draft for that player, right? You've got Nocturne Oriana. It's a lot of burst, but you're supporting Spirit, playing around him, always positioning around the map and pathing where Spirit can fight with you, picking supports that enable your AD carry, not, you know, hamper them, which can sometimes happen, even though it sounds strange. Oftentimes, you know, the support pairings just don't work with your ADC. And those, like, they're just picking things that maybe necessarily they don't want to play. I don't know these players. Maybe they love Volibear Nocturne, but they're picking... Hold that for Paranoia and bot.
Yeah, Jerry has found his way on to Brother Otter, who did flash there too, I guess thinking he'd get away, and is going to go down. No flash for the next couple minutes then. 5 minutes without it is quite a while to be without it as a Syndra. And that is the start Atacon. So, Doge, I don't even think XSRD knows what's going on. If they do, they just are like, well, we can't contest this anymore. But that's going to go over to Doge pretty free. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Purple going to try to hold on to this turret, but 3 members here. The rest of the team isn't close enough, and he's just going to let it fall. So, XSRD does get something out of this all, but ooh, it's just still... It's a Punky looking to maybe try to get this turret. Punky slapping. Continue the slapping. You've got this, Punky. Will he get the turret? Oh, he does.
Wow, I had
slowly
to call
but
for a
surely
jungler to
because-
gank the tower. It's never a 1v1, always a jungle diff.
Yeah,
Shake my head.
it's a team diff. Where's Doge to gank the to
Yeah,
counter gank
the
the
tower
turret?
sitting there by himself. So
Yeah, poor
sad.
tower.
I
Gotta
think
learn
that
when to back.
there are some times where gold it really, really matters, right? Like, where is the gold on? Like, last game with the Kai'Sa, that was a massive, massive deal, right? And obviously, there is some big leads, like Spirit's obviously up quite a lot of gold, but the gold lead isn't that big. The thing is that it's not always about gold, right? The map state for Doge is just so winning. Even down a Drake, it doesn't matter because it feels like everywhere Doge goes, as long as they're coordinated and together, it feels like they're going to win the fight. I feel like Greed haven't, come up with any answers for what Doge does in fights. Doge are much more coordinated. They understand what their comps do. We've seen back-to-back now, even though they stumbled in the early game of last game. This game, they haven't done that. They understand how their comps work. They don't overplay, really. Like, there was, before Arakan there, Waffles doesn't face-check the pink ward and die as Nami, which, sounds a bit silly, but that happens all the time when you're playing an enchanter support and you can't really contest vision. Waffles doesn't do that. He plays safe with his team, path safe. Like, everyone is playing their role. No one is trying to be a superhero when it's not their turn to be. And I'm really impressed by how Doge are playing. It's really conservative. 50 seconds until Drake. Walk into river. Push mid wave. Push bot wave. Get some vision. Send mid laner to top to catch wave with TP here. Walking as 3. As Volibear rotates in. Sweeping more vision. They're playing so well together rather than having massive egos, which is something that oftentimes players in these divisions do have. Again, not overplaying for Shen. Like, all of it is really conservative, but aggressive when you need to be, when you can be.
Yeah, and I think that's a sign of a strong team, and especially if they do manage to close this out with the lead they have, could be a good sign for things to come heading into the playoffs. They're looking very good. They're looking their teamwork is very good. They have game plans. They stick with them. The one area I will say that I think we've seen in both these games, actually, hang on, we'll have to wait a moment, as Harry has found his way in onto Gunny. He will fall down, though, the shutdown coming through for the Shen, but they will manage to grab him with Spiritless. Here comes Octopus, though, managing to hit a huge ultimate, and they're going to take out the Shen there. Ultimate was in the middle of channeling, so that is down. Brother Otter has teleported in, gonna hit the stun onto Waffles. Waffles getting ulted, getting nuked, but Otter will fall in the process to Spiritless, and it's a 3-for-3. But Doge has the wave and managed to go for it. Little strong aggression. We're praising their team play. They make a little bit of a strong play.
Wheelchair's come back out of base now. I mean, maybe a little bit of a caster curse there by myself. I kind of glazed Doge for like 45 seconds straight, and then they kind of take a bit too aggressive fight in mid when they have full vision and can take Dragon for free by themselves. TP in from Purple to try to stop this Drake take. Hybrid is on his way and nearly has Paranoia available. This would be soul point for Greed if they're able to get it.
Purple trying to get into vision. Here comes the Paranoia. They're looking for it. They're diving on in. Hybrid's going to drop the W, though. Looking to get it. He is going to smite it away, and that's a double kill. Or not a double, but 2 kills at least going over to Robust. It is the double now as the Corki is going to pick up 2. I just predicted a little early. 3 for nothing and a Dragon for Doge, and now they're heading straight for the Baron.
That was a brilliant ult from Hybrid. It was completely a bait. He goes in and then instantly spell shields and walks away. He never intended to go in. The Paranoia was just to push Greed back so he could get access to the pit and smite away that Dragon. And it works perfectly. They get the Drake and it buys enough time for Spiritless, Robust to get there, and they win the fight again. And win as Greed, right? You win a fight. I mean, in my opinion, it's a win. You get some shutdowns. You get access to Drake. You're looking, okay, we can even this gold up, maybe get a lead for ourselves, get soul point, continue to farm. And then 30 seconds later, there's a 5k lead for Doge. You lost the Drake, and now Doge has Baron as well. And you have to take a good look at yourselves and go, like, man, we have considerably thrown multiple times over this set, and that doesn't feel good. It does not feel good.
Does not, and it's definitely something to feel rough about going into the off season too. Will we see this roster again next season if they don't make playoffs? Will it still be the same team? Will they work on some of these issues that we noted? Growing. Speaking of which, Hybrid Carry gonna have to flash on out. Wheelchair was looking for him, getting kind of low though. Spiritless doing a lot of damage. Does have that triple item Corki Spike, the IE, the Trinity Force, the Muramana, that pain, the traditional classic Corki build. He's so strong. They're gonna push it down. Inner turret has fallen. Doge on the march, taking the inner turret on the bottom side as well. Now it's just
And just a solo kill on the way.
Solo kill. Ah, purple. Purple Sazabi is taking a solo kill on Brother Otter. It's just all over the place, just destroying. Every member of Doge is just performing so well this series, this game. And oh, the flash taunt forward onto Spiritless. He is going to get to flash out. They're going to buy some time, and he's going to go legendary, going to pick off Wheelchair Jungle. And now Peekaboo and the rest of Greed on the run. The flash out from the Lucian. The tidal wave is coming, and it is going to not just kind of push them back, but they will take the Nexus turrets. They are falling. This is the last stand for XSRD. Can they hold it? The Nexus is falling, and it will not be a clean 2-0 from Doge.
My bad. I thought that you might have needed that. That's the wrong graphic, but might have needed Kai'Sa to carry, but no. Corki, just the same. Completely shuts Greed out. And again, Brother Honor, alongside Wheelchair Jungler, finds some early kills. And then it just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I feel like I didn't really see the Shen that much. And this Lucian just looked kind of invisible. Even though the damage is great, I mean, a lot of that's fake damage, right? It's into Volley Bear, it's from culling, it's a bit of poke here and there. I think Doge it just felt like a different tier to me, a different tier of playing this set.
Yeah, you wouldn't think that these two teams were at basically the same point in the standings, just with how different it felt they were on like what level they're at. And I'm not trying to blame them. I'm really not. But like, it definitely felt like this didn't feel like the two teams fighting for a final playoff spot, win or go home. This felt like one team that's been dominating all season, one that was fighting for that really was trying to fight for that spot and just couldn't get over the line. So I agree. I think this is a good sign for Doge. And what something I was trying to say earlier, we didn't get a chance because the team fights broke out and it just didn't stop since then. But the one area I am worried about Doge for a bit is the early game heading into the playoffs. We saw they had immaculate team fighting. They had a really good game plan, really good objective control. But their early game was a little rough in this series. We did see some struggles there, especially on the bottom side. Getting kind of pushed in. Spiritless does great with Waffles, but they do get picked and bullied on a lot. That could just be, who their opponents are and the champions they're picking. Obviously, they're taking the Sin. They took Lucian, so they're playing a lane bully that second game. The first game, I mean, it was a Sivir, it's not really lane bullying, but I do like, you see why they had some trouble, but it's still something maybe they want to look at and clean up a bit, because if that's something like other teams, like stronger teams can exploit very heavily. They're not going to let you get back into it. They're not going to make as many of these mistakes and let you back into the game. So let you get your game plan going. You gotta kind of work on that a little bit. But overall, I mean, that's just some constructive criticism, because overall I think they played immaculately.
Yeah, they did play super well. I think regardless of, they did super well, regardless of, talking about this game, it's not a bad thing, I think, to bring up in a positive light, you're going into playoffs, right? Congratulations. But you're absolutely right. There are holes in your early game. You need to make sure that those are tightened up, and that's not necessarily for Doge me saying like, oh, it was terrible, but other teams are going to look at that and go, okay, what if we just draft like, Lucian Braum or something early game, and then actually just tower dive you fort like over and over and over and over again. We'll pick a tank jungle, we'll pick like Sejuani, and you like can't play the game. How do you play against that? Like, what is your game plan? I'm not saying that that's the end of the game. That's not how that works. But when you've got a lot more put on you, what's your game plan then? And then after that, and then after that. And if you want to climb from, fourth to first, I mean, the bracket for Conqueror is huge. It's like round of 16, then quarters. There's like, because this division is so big, there is a lot of teams to not only get through, but to prep for. A lot of different, like this patch is coming out. To it's just come out, so you got to scrim on this patch, get used to it. Changes to items are important. We were talking a little bit about that. Whether you get the Azir ever or the Vi, it's a lot of different things. But yeah, I think Doge played super well. Condolences to Greed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I was done. My fault.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, they still have bright things to look forward to going into next season. I think that individually their players played well. They had a very strong early game. And I've seen this. You've seen this in the pro level, even like the top tier. There are teams that they start and the first season or two they struggle with just being an early game team, not really knowing what to do after that point. But as they've gained the experience, they've become very strong teams. I mean, having that good early game means that at least you know what you need to work on. It's not related to the early game, so your early game is being consistent. It's just what happens after that. So when you're practicing, okay, we've gotten this part, and we know that we're going to get this every time. We're going to always have a strong early game. But what do we do when we hit the mid game? What do we do when we hit the late game? Whereas the other way, if you have a strong late game but a bad early game, that's a little bit. I feel like it's always harder to really fix, because
it feels better against worse teams, but when you're against a good team, you just get completely blown out of the water and you can't do anything.
Yeah. So there's definitely areas that they have bright spots on. There's areas that they need to work on, but we'll hopefully see them again next season. And for Dorado, welcome to the playoffs. It's time. We're all excited. But that's all we've got from us today. Thank you so much for watching. We're going to throw it to the merch right here. Don't forget to get your Titan Esports merch. The summer collection is here. The wave of summer. Go check it out at fofelesports.com/Titan to get yours today. It's some cool stuff in there. I honestly need to pick. I just got paid actually the other day. It's time for me to pick up some merch. The merch.
Need you guys
about to go buy a bunch right now.
Down under. Set as well, because it's winter right now for me. It's freezing here. I can't wear any of that stuff, but I gotta do some inverse orders.
Just gotta you just buy your stuff upside down and just wear it that way.
I was
like a true Australian.
I was considering. I reckon I should turn my camera. Actually, can we go back to us? What if I do this? What if I cast like this from now on? Does this work?
There you go. The true Australian way.
There we go. True Australian. Here it is.
All right. That will do from us today. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.